Hello everyone. So today I am in the kitchen working on Q's Skillet Fest, and I just wanted to take you along for the journey. I am going to be using the old-fashioned bean pot in this entry and my dad's secret recipe. It's secret because he never measures it, so we're trying to put measurements behind it today. So here we go. Alright, so our ingredients we have laid out for you already and pre-cut, so you don't have to wash this cut stuff because nobody wants to do that. So you want to do 1 large onion per 2 pounds of beans. We doubled the recipe, but I'm actually quadrupling the recipe, just not all of it's going in the bean pot. So this is 4 onions, this is a pound of salt pork, 6 tablespoons of brown sugar, and we are using the Splenda brown sugar because of diabetics. That's 1 tablespoon of dry mustard and a teaspoon of kosher salt. It actually calls for a tablespoon, but we're cutting that in half. 1 cup of molasses. If you're not doubling the recipe, it's only a half a cup. And we are doing 4 whole pounds of beans. And hopefully it all fits. So we're going to mix up our dry ingredients with our beans, add our molasses and our water, and then we're going to layer everything into our beautiful pot. In case I didn't say this, but I think I did, this is Boston baked beans. Boston. Alright, we want to get all of our molasses out of there. If you've never smelled molasses before, it is an amazing smell. That is some thick molasses. Well, it's on the outside, that's why. Yeah, it's not really working very well. Alright, I think that's all I'm getting out of there. Unless you want me to keep. Alright, so this is 2 quarts of water, which turns out, we just used a little, but it turns out to 1900 milliliters. Smells good already. So you see how the beans are settling like that while they're cooking. That's how you want the water to be. You never want the water level to go below the beans. Just a little tip there. Alright, so ladle has been found. So what we want to do first before we start putting our beans in is we want to layer our salt pork. You just want some in each layer. It doesn't have to be perfectly lining the bottom. But you want some salt pork, some onion, and then some beans. Good thing we put that paper towel. Okay, so the most important thing with this recipe is to make sure the water stays over the beans. You don't want it to go below the beans and dry your beans out. So we're going to put this in the oven at 250 for 6 to 8 hours. You can raise the temperature if you're in a hurry, and you can do this recipe in about 3 hours if you pre-cook your beans. Another tip my dad told me. So we're going to do it low and slow like they would back in the olden days, and we will show you what they look like tomorrow.
So I wanted to give everybody a quick update here as far as the beans go. Wifey is taking care of her dad. So they've been in here for 8 hours or so, and all she did was take the cover off. So sorry. All she did was take the cover off to let some of the moisture out, try to thicken these beans up a little bit. So I wanted to give you an update on this. She did not have time. Next time you see us, she will be taking back over.
Okay, so after many hours later, we are finally done with Q's Skillet Fest entry.
And they are cold, unfortunately, because we had to go to work.
Yeah, so this took a total of about 14 hours of cook time. But, I mean, look at that. It almost looks as good as Bush's baked beans.
Looks really good.
So recap is just molasses, brown sugar, salt pork, and onion, and dry pepper, or jump pepper, mustard.
Here it is. A nice close-up of Ginas baked beans. And we're going to get right into the taste test here.
This is my dad's bean recipe, and my dad never measures anything. He's been making them for so long that he just eyeballs it. So I actually found a recipe that tastes pretty close, if not perfect, to how he usually makes it. And I brought him some today in the rehabilitation center, and he was highly impressed for my first time doing it. And now that they've thickened some since then, he's going to be even more impressed.
A nice piece of salted pork, beans. Oh yeah.
So good.
Just like it came out of the can, honestly. Good job, babe.
Next on our agenda is clam chowder.
We are waiting on you, Tom, my friend. Well,
Q, I hope you enjoyed this. I know I did. This this recipe is going down in the recipe cards for, you know, our family book. And now I'll have my dad's actual recipe.
Yep.
And it brought him some joy today to have these, so that made me happy. Peace, love, and happiness. Don't forget to join Q Skillet Fest. Get an entry in there. It's easy peasy. 14 hours of easy peasy. Have a good one.